Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hi, Carla. Thank you. Hi, Erica. Shane, Beverly, Vicky, Lisa, Sunlight, Yoga Pants, Adam. Beverly, I already said. Lisa B, I think I said too. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate that. You know, we got to talk about something before we get going. Because I think these videos, or perhaps just regular circumstances in my life, are making me hate trifling men. Why do some children get more money than others? Why do some people deserve more than others? I don't understand it. These child support hearings make me crazy. I mean, I do like trifling men. I think that is the problem, Cellulite Yoga Pants. I just know. Anyways. Besides the point. The gentleman, and you know what? He's nothing but a gentleman for the most part. With his words and the way he says them. But what he is saying is not super gentlemanly. I don't know. I find it so attractive when a man wants to take care of his family. Am I weird? Yeah, cellular yoga pants. Well, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. So, exclamation mark CYP. Thanks. It all stems from my childhood trauma. Is that what that one says? Anyways, but seriously, I think it is so amazing when a man and a woman wants to take care of the babies. Responsible is boring. I don't know. In this current financial climate. Anyways, here's the thing. My coffee still has foam on it. That's a good sign. But this is probably my second last joint. And then we're out till next week. That's a problem. But we are going to watch this case. I got the whole thing. I started getting it on my phone, and then my phone fucked up, and, well, my phone didn't fuck up. It was just like, you've recorded this for an hour, and I didn't even think that, hold on. I'm getting a text message that's important. No offense to everybody. Let me put on the video. And then we can, I can read it. Speaking of, it's from my dad.
Their court, which I'm handling. If one of you decides the outcome is not to your benefit, or you think there was an error made or what have you, you can appeal. You have the automatic.
Oh my God, you guys. Oh, is this actually happening? My dad texted me. He was going through some stuff at his house. No, this is my real dad. Not a daddy. I have a daddy. This is not him. He's my dad. But he found videos of me and my sister, and like from when we were young. Like there's a video. This is a video of me running track. You can barely see it. Oh God, I'm fast. Oh, I'm doing a long jump. Oh, so funny. Okay. Anyways, I love that. That's so sweet. He's going to convert them and send them to me. So, like, that's what a real dad does. That's a dad thing. You see? He kept the camcorders. I love that. So anyways, hopefully I will be able to share those with you once he converts them, because right now they're a little blurry for me to see, but that's technology, people. Anyways, so Bailey up here and Austin over here have a set of twins, and that's what this case stems from. And I am very excited to share it with you. So let's watch. Also, tell me what you had for breakfast or lunch, I guess. I don't know. I'm only having coffee. Coffee and a joint. Don't tell my dad. Oh, maybe he knew.
It's not automatic. You have to exert your right to appeal, exercise your right to appeal, and it does require filing pleadings within a certain short timeline and having a court hearing within a 30-day period. So you do have the right of appeal. I just want to make you aware of that. Let me start or move on with Ms. Coates. If you'd go ahead and identify yourself and give me an opening statement on this matter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Deandra Coates for the Attorney General's office. Today, Your Honor, we're here on a confirmation of arrears and modification. At this time, the current child support is $589 for 2 children. The medical was $135.
I'm sorry, we have to listen to this before we get going because I didn't realize you could hear it. Okay, first of all, my dad has a Scottish accent. You might not be able to hear this very well, but I'm gonna listen to this. He has a video of me and my sister. Oh, this is so sweet. I'm so glad he has these. I never thought that he had. Oh my god, he's just like flooding me with all these videos. I love it. But okay, just listen to the intro. Hopefully you can. I don't think you can see it, but.
You two join in together for a little bit. Come in a bit. I want to take a photograph here. Come in. No, come in. Kyle. Come in. No, come on. I'm wasting tape here. Kirsty, put your arms around Paisley. Paisley, put your arms around Kirsty.
Anyways. I love that. I don't know if you could hear that little bit. He said he was wasting tape with us because we wouldn't hug. He kept telling us to come in, and we were like fighting with each other. So yeah, no, he seems to be doing good. And I love all these videos. I'm going to look at these later. But that's the kind of trifling I like. Seriously, that's so funny. Courtney, you just missed it. I'll be getting these. I'll send one to you later. But we're just starting the case, so don't worry. All right. Without further ado, thank you guys. Oh, my dad texted me videos of when I was a little kid, and I'll send some to you later. They're really blurry, but anyways. Okay, let's start the case.
And so we are trying to modify that today. Mr. Ash does have health insurance and dental for both children. For the 2 children for medical, it's $135 a month for both children, and dental $11 a month for the 2 children he has with Miss Wood. So he's paying $146 a month between both of those, Your Honor. And based on what Mr. Ash has turned over to us, Your Honor,
Excuse me, Ms. Coates, a 10:30 person has appeared.
Okay, if you want to handle that, State, let's do that. We have to multitask in a virtual courtroom.
that's okay. We're gonna move Miss Solis into Mr. Valdez's breakout room and go from there. Miss Solis, go ahead and join that pop-up. All right, Your Honor, she's no longer in the courtroom.
Great, if you want to continue.
Yes. All right, Your Honor. So based on what Mr. Ash has provided to us, Your Honor, his gross monthly income is $19,252.99. This was based on a year-to-date pay stub he turned over to one of our child support officers that did have overtime, Your Honor. So the year-to-date on that, Your Honor, let me just get that for you. I know you like to have that, is $48,872.99. And that is based on a pay period of 11 weeks, Your Honor. So we did which should have came out to, I had the numbers, but I rounded it up.
That's for 11 weeks, y'all. 11 weeks, Sashina. Also, cellulite yoga pants. Yes, I did. I love my dad very much. And I'm just like so glad that we have those videos. That's so cool to me. Because again, I don't have a visual imagery in my head, but audio brings back memories for me. So anyways, that's so fun. I'm gonna spend a lot of time listening to those later and watching them, critiquing my long jump form, deluding myself that I could still do long jump. I think I could. But that's okay. That's okay. Anyways, Brooklyn, are you saying, who are you asking to marry you? Me or him or her?
That's $4,442.99, Your Honor. We times that by 52 weeks. That was a projected yearly income of $231,035.95. Divide that by the 12, Your Honor, and that's how we got the $19,252.99. And at this time, Mr. Ash was asking for temporary orders, Your Honor, but I think at this point we could do a final because Miss Wood is agreeing to give him credit for his twins that are on the way. So then that would be, he has 3 biological children under the age of 18. And so the guidelines, Your Honor, for that would be $1,748. That's credit for 3 children. That's credit for him carrying the health insurance for the 2 children. And so Miss Wood would like the guidelines of that $1,748. However, Mr. Ash is asking that child support be set at $1,300, and that's even with Ms. Wood giving the credit for the 2 twins that are on the way. So he's asking for $1,300 flat moving forward.
So what percentage is the 1748 and what percentage would be the 1300 based on the gross or adjusted net?
Spoiler alert, just like me, lawyers suck at math. But actually the key to know here is that the state of Texas caps child support. What, Paisley? What are you talking about? What I mean is, if you make so much money like this gentleman does, over $200,000 a year, they don't even count all of that income. It only goes up to $100 and something thousand, and then it's capped. Everybody is, you can't take more than that. So offering below it when you make above it is sort of like bleh to me. But bro has some good swimmers. 2 sets of twins? That's pretty good.
So let's see. It's based on 2 children before the court, 3 outside. And he's just saying 1,300 altogether with based on the 2 children before the court and 3 outside the court.
They're going to argue this. This is a long hearing, by the way, guys. I don't know.
Okay, but what percentage, at least tell me the percentage you used to get the 1748
Okay.
on the chart. I don't have that chart memorized anymore.
I don't, Your Honor, either.
I know, it's too hard. You just
Let
can
me
look it up. Okay.
I'll look it up right now. So Texas Family Code percentage.
So
I should have that chart saved somewhere.
Now do it the old-fashioned way, there's too many chapters.
I'm gonna make sure I have the right one.
ladies, you're killing the vibe.
The
So
chart.
2 before the court, and then 3 outside. Looks like 19%, Your Honor.
19, thank you. And then the cap, we're not violating any statutory cap?
Correct, Your Honor. No, it's already been capped.
Okay. Okay, then I think I've got your opening statement. Yeah, I was trying to, I lost Miss Wood. No, I didn't. She just went off
Oh,
video.
I think, yeah, my camera, I think it, hold on. It might have
Yeah.
went off. Oh, there
Yes,
it is.
Your Honor.
Thank
She
you, ma'am.
I think she says she can hear better with her camera off. But I know you wanted to see them and have them
I do.
sworn in before.
That's true. However, maybe when he's testifying, she can be off video, but when you're testifying, Miss Wood, if you can stay on video, that might work for me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the state's giving me their opening statement. Technically, you're here representing yourselves. I'm not going to go through the trouble of having you tell me what you want, and then the state's going to ask you all these questions to tell me what you want. So we're just going to go straight to testimony. You'll tell me that way. So, Ms. Coates, you want to call your first witness?
Yes. I might have missed it, Your Honor, but did you swear them in already?
I believe I did. Did I not, folks? Did I swear you in on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
I did. I do that so fast, sometimes I forget, and we got another person back in the waiting room that needs to be admitted and
She
moved.
did it.
Let's do that one
You
more
guys,
time.
my dad. You guys, he's got my soccer game. So funny.
Ms. Coates or Ms.
She's being moved right now, Your Honor. She's moved.
Wonderful, thank you.
That's him telling
Then
somebody,
you'll call your first witness,
like
Ms.
one of the
Coates.
coaches to settle down at my soccer game. Settle down, Casey. Oh, that's so funny. I love that. Sorry.
Yes. Miss Wood?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Wood, I understand that even though the twins that Mr. Ash is having have not been born yet, and we talked about what the law says, you're willing to go ahead and consider the twins a part of this child support when we're trying to calculate the guidelines. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that would mean he has a total of 3 children that you know of, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have 2 children with Mr. Ash. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old are your 2 children?
They will be 9 in June on the 22nd.
Oh, so you have twins as well.
Yes, ma'am. The first set.
Okay. So your twins, boy, girl, boy, boy.
Boy, girl.
Are they in any extra activities or anything like that?
Not right now at the moment. We got a lot going on in our life. So we're kind of paused on that, but definitely going to do some baseball and cheer next year.
Okay. Have they needed any like tutoring or do they have like therapists they have to see? Because right now, currently, your child support is set at $589. My understanding is that's not enough for the 2 children, correct?
Correct.
And can you just kind of tell us what they're into or what they may need or what's going on that that
Yes, ma'am.
1,300 would not be?
Sir, you don't need to fucking explain it, Bailey. This AG sucks. I'm serious. This was drawn out way longer than it has to be. His income dictates that he has been underpaying severely. It's fucking obvious, and it's sick to me. When you make that much money, I'm not joking, when you make that much money, $500 is nothing. So when that's all you're providing for 2 of your children, I'm bothered. even if you're making like $80,000 and you're only providing $500 for 2 children, that's bothersome to me. That's bothersome. I'm bothered.
Be enough.
Yes, ma'am. So my son is, he has ADHD. I now pay for his medication by myself because Medicaid, I let it go back in January. I was going to renew it in February, but decided not to. Austin had said to me last year on the holidays that he had insurance on him and he would give me the cards, and I have yet to receive them, but I was just hoping that he was accurate with that they did have insurance through him. So yes, my son actually does need tutoring, and I have been looking into that for the summer with my father. We were gonna get him signed up for extra help with reading and writing because he's still a little behind on that, but they're both doing really, really good in school. They're going to pass this year and continue on next year. So besides that, just the normal help, with clothes and shoes and, activities to just do for the summer and just a normal kid life. Like $500 a month, that doesn't pay for nothing.
Okay. And so since you don't have health insurance and he hasn't turned that over to you, how much is the ADHD medicine costing?
It's $30 a month.
Okay.
So it's not too crazy. But I am fixing to have to take him back to the doctor and go over his medication because I think it's time we change it on him. It still works for him, but he's not excelling like he was to begin with. So we're going to redo that. And he's also, he's on the borderline of the autism spectrum. I'm not really sure if that's 100% accurate, if he really is still autistic. So I'm going to have him retested for that as well. And that's a good $700 to have that done. So.
And so have you had him tested before?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that covered before?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there any co-pays for that testing?
Austin paid for half, and I believe my mom paid for the other half.
So let's talk about their clothes and shoes. So is he providing them at his home and like keeping them? Like, is he telling you like, hey, I bought them stuff, it's gonna stay here? Or what's the situation with that?
I don't talk to Austin. I get a text every now and again with, hey, tell him I love him, or like I don't entertain that. I'm sorry if I don't, but I don't feel like that's what you need to be doing if you really want to have something to do with your children. You know where they're at, you know what school they go to, and you know where they live. If you want to see them, you pick up the phone and call, and you can come and have a relationship with them. But as far as clothes wise, I know that he did have some clothes and shoes over there for them, but again, they don't go over there. So I don't know if they still do. Their little brother goes to the same school as them, and you know how little kids talk. They say that they've already gotten the other rooms ready for the new babies. So I don't know. I have no answer on that.
Okay. So Miss Wood, I understand that your prior order back in 2017, you were appointed sole managing conservator and there was a finding of family violence. And so Mr. Ash hasn't been able to have any visits with the children based on that order. So have you let him try to see them? Because, I understand it says that the court finds that he's having access to the children would endanger them. But is that the case still? Or, what's going on there? Could you let us?
No, I don't. That was like 9 years ago. I still to this day don't know what Austin did. It's not that I don't care anymore. It's more or less of I've accepted it and I've moved on. It's happened. It is what it is. I don't not trust him alone with them. I do. I trust him. I don't feel like he would ever hurt my kids again, or in general. I've been around him. I don't.
What a weird sentence to have to say. It was so good until again. What?
Alone with him, I do. I trust him. I don't feel like he would ever hurt my kids again, or in general. I mean, I've been around him. I don't. He's harmless. Okay, he's not going to hurt a baby. He's not going to hurt a child. But as far as relationship wise, I'm not going to do that to my kids. I'm not going to continue going back and forth with him. Do you want to see him? Do you not want to see him? That's too much on them. They're 9 years old. I mean, they went 6 years without him. They had him for 2 years, and now it doesn't matter. Like, I guess really it's up to them if they want him in their life. But at the same time, like, no, I don't think that he's going to ever harm a kid. I do trust him. So that was a long time ago when the CPS case had happened, and I was also really young and immature. And I didn't know any different then. So, I mean, Austin has spoke about that many times. But
Miss Wood, the reason I'm asking is that if things are better now, is he exercising some kind of visit to where like it's a standard, or is he getting them 50% of the time? Like, we need to know these things, because if he does see the children and get them more than 50% of the time, we have to take that into consideration. So, is he, with your permission, exercising any visits?
No, ma'am.
Whether they're in person or maybe electronic, does he FaceTime them or anything?
No, ma'am.
And then I know that the court previously put that your information would not be disclosed. Are you asking that remain in place, or
Yes.
okay. And so if Mr. Ash wanted to talk to you about the children, how does he talk to you about them?
Phone. Or right now I'm still in the same area, which right now where I'm living, yeah, he can know where I'm at here. This is fine. He knows where I'm at. This is my father's house. I'm right around the corner from the school. He knows where it's at. He can come here and talk to me anytime he wants to, or he can pick up the phone and call me.
Okay. But if you were to move, you would ask that information remain private?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There is an app called App Close, APP Close. Would you prefer to be communicating there? I know your prior order did not put a form of communication in there. So is that something you are okay with?
That's fine with me.
Okay. And so, like I stated, you are asking for the guidelines of what it would be if he had 3 children, which is the $1,748. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. If that's yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to just confirm that.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if that's what y'all see fit, then I agree too. Yes, ma'am.
No, right. Is there anything else the judge should know at this time that I didn't get a chance to ask you that you believe is important?
I don't think I have any questions.
I do actually have another one. Miss Wood, have you asked for additional funds from Mr. Ash recently?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
Does Mr. Ash send you additional support on his own?
No, ma'am.
All right, Your Honor, no further questions from Miss Wood. Just ask to reserve the right to recall if necessary.
Are we doing a confirmation? Do we need to get any evidence on any arrears?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Ash is not in arrears for child support. But for medical support, he does owe a small amount, which I was just gonna ask him in just a moment.
Okay, that would be fine. If you want to move on with the next witness, that would be fine.
Okay, so to be clear, when I said she's willing to consider his unborn children in the calculation, what I mean is that he is due to have twins with his new wife at the end of July, and the mother of his current twins is willing to do the calculation based upon them already being here to get it over with, which was the $1,748. So he's been woefully underpaying, but within the court order, the AG's office never brought this to anybody. She didn't bring it. So that's the way that it is. But so he's not in any trouble. But I mean, we all know that he's been making a lot of money, I guess, and that he's not been paying a lot of child support. And she does seem very reasonable. Anyways, let's hear what he has to say.
Yes. All right. Mr. Ash?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Ash, so first things first, you're aware that you are not in arrears for child support at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
We didn't get a chance to let you know, but I'm going to show you something called a financial activity report. As of last month, you are in arrears for medical support in the amount of $162.89. I don't know if you are aware of that, but that's where you are at this time. Okay, so I'm just going to share this with you. And so this is 12 pages. It was printed today. It has Mr. Ash and Miss Woods. And Miss Woods, you would see this on your portal. Mr. Ash, you would have been served this with your paperwork. This is updated. So does everybody see this? Does this look accurate with either what you've seen on your portal or what you've been served?
Yes, ma'am.
That's page 1. You'll have to move forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, Mr. Ash, have you received something that looks like this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this keeps track from all the way from 2017 when you were ordered to pay child support and medical. So we've kept oh, I'm so sorry. We have kept track of payments that are withdrawn either from your paycheck or if you made any voluntary payments on your own. So this goes all the way up until last month. It goes up to the 18th. And so as you can see right here, 0 for child support, but you didn't pay the full amount for medical. It could have just been maybe just depending on what your paycheck, what happened with that. So as of March 18th, you owe $162.89. We would suggest you paying that back at $51 a month. Is that something you could afford if child support was set at $1,300?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, are you suggesting 1,300, Ms. Coates, or did you mean 1,700?
No, well, hold on, Your Honor. I've got 2 parts to it.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Ash, I know you want to pay the 1,300, so I'm trying to figure out if you did 1,300, that would include the 51. Well, not include that, but that would be on top of that. So if you did that, you could afford that. Now, if we set it at child support guidelines of $1,748, could you afford the guidelines and that $51 for the medical?
No, ma'am.
Liar.
Okay. So, Your Honor, we would ask that this be entered in as Exhibit A.
Is there any objection, Mr. Ash or Ms. Wood? You've seen this
No.
document already. Any reason I shouldn't admit it into the record?
No.
No? Okay, I think I've heard both of you say no. Thank you. Then States A has admitted the pay record for this case.
All right. And so, I apologize. One moment.
You're terrible. I don't want to give you any leeway, ma'am. I'm sorry. You're not even on the screen. Like, get with the fucking program. This is your job. Sorry, I'm in a really bad mood. Partly. I'm just like, get with the fucking program. I know the questions.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I wanted you to be able to hear me and not the dogs. So, Mr. Ash,
Yes.
so we talked to you about your pay stub that you turned over to us, and we explained how we were able to calculate guidelines. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And my understanding is that even if we gave you credit for the 3 children that you're about to have, and then the 2 children that you have with Miss Woods, that the guidelines was 1748, but you stated that you could not afford that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What you can afford monthly would be the $1,300.
Yes, ma'am.
And I also understand that you do have health insurance for for the twins that you have with Miss Wood. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so that's costing you about $146 a month for the twins.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that you do need to turn over a copy of those insurance to Miss Woods, as you're now going to be ordered to carry and maintain that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the 1,300. So it's about a $448 difference. Mr. Ash, what is going on with your income? Let's talk about that. Is this $1,300 based on a budget which you've calculated on what your incomes are, or what your like bills and expenses are?
That whenever my next children are born, I will be leaving my current job because it is out of town and I will be gone. And I don't want to be gone anymore. I've done that for too long, and I won't make nearly as that much money.
Okay.
I
So
asked for a postponement, so when we came to do this, I could do it with my new job's finances.
So you kind of broke out a little bit, so we're gonna back up a little bit. So you are working for this current company called Technip, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you're gonna leave that job?
I am. Yes, ma'am. It is away from my family, and I've done that for too long.
What kind of work is this?
It's the oil field.
Do you have a history of working the oil field?
I work with 14 and 7 rotation.
I'm sorry?
I work with 14 and 7 rotation, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to work a regular job where I don't have to drive 8 hours away and be gone for 2 weeks at a time.
But is this a line of work you've always done, the oil field?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been in this line of oil field work?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How long have you been doing this line of work in the oil field?
Uh, 10 years probably.
Okay. So after 10 years, you now want to go to a normal job?
So I'm not gone all the time. Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of line of work are you looking at?
HVAC, something along the lines of that, or anything just where I can be home.
Do you already have a different job lined up with an interview and things like that, or a position that you've been given?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. So, what are you just going to quit this job and then sit around and wait, or are you going to continue to keep this job and then try to look for an HVAC job?
No, ma'am. I get 6 weeks of leave for the babies being born, and I know some people around my town I'm gonna get in contact with and set something up while I'm doing that.
Okay. So, during the 6 weeks, what if you don't find a job? Are you going to remain at that location?
Yes, ma'am. I would quit without another one.
Okay. All right. Assuming you stay at this job for another year, talk to us about what your expenses look like. You know, are you married? I might have cut out. Mr.
Hello?
Ash? Yeah. Mr. Ash, are you currently married or do you have a spouse?
Yes, ma'am, I am married.
All right. And what is your living situation?
Uh, own, I pay mortgage.
Okay, you have a home and you pay the mortgage. What's the mortgage?
It is 151151.
Bro, what? Why would you not accelerate paying off that home when you make so much money? Bro. $1,500 payments? That's my rent. Carol, you're sick of the AG? Me fucking too. Me fucking too. Absolutely dragged this out. Waste of everybody's time. I could have had this done in fucking 15 minutes. I'm not joking. Literally 15 minutes.
And your wife, what was she doing before she got pregnant?
She's been a stay-at-home mom for our entire relationship. But before that, she worked at the hospital.
So this other before the twins with her, do you have another child with her or with someone else?
With her.
Okay, so you're gonna have 3 children with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the eldest that you two share together, how old?
7.
Okay.
That 7-year-old
So was
goes
she
to
working the
school with
hospital
the
job
twin
before?
Hold on, I just want to point out. This 7-year-old goes to school with the twin 9-year-olds. They live ostensibly within a short period of space. And he doesn't see them at all? How fucked up would that be? That makes me so sad for those kids. Seriously. Ugh. That's really, 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 really sad. And I was thinking that it is him doing the twins since it's 2 women and 2 sets of twins now. Wow, John, that's cheap. I could afford that.
You had the 7-year-old or after?
Before what?
I'm sorry. The child that y'all share together, it's a son, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Was she working the hospital job before your son was born or after?
Before.
Okay. And then, so for the last 7 years, she's just been staying at home raising your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you're the breadwinner currently. So Mr. Ash,
Yes, ma'am.
if you do take a lower paying job, is your wife going to go back to work then?
We have discussed that. We will do whatever we have to do, but I'm just tired of being gone all the time.
Anything else that, like, do you have a truck or a vehicle that you're paying for?
We have 2 vehicles that we pay for.
All right, so you're paying for both of them. How much are they each?
My truck is $618 a month, and the Tahoe is 1115.
Oh, that's almost exactly the child support payment.
How close are you to paying off either one of those vehicles?
Not close.
Okay, what year are your truck and Tahoe?
The Tahoe is a 19 and the truck is a 15.
Okay. When did you obtain these 2 vehicles?
I got the Tahoe in 2020, and I believe I bought the truck last January.
2024 or 25?
Yes, ma'am. 24, I believe. Yes, ma'am. 24.
Okay.
Carol asks a good question. Do we think Austin's attractive? And Carol, I'll sell this to. I've said this before. If he had come in here and been like, I've been overpaying every month, even though I don't see these kids because I care about them, you know, I might be more attracted to him. But as of right now, attitude plus this, it's a no. It's a hard no for me. And again, ladies, I'll explain this to you. When you are with a man and he does not see his children, question that.
What else are you paying for?
The yeah, obviously the amenities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And phone bill, I guess just regular stuff after that. And then we have to pay out of pocket to the specialist right now for for our new twins, and because it doesn't cover that until I meet my deductible. So
Okay. What is a specialist? What
it's
is
for the doctor, the ultrasound and stuff, level 2 ultrasound and stuff like that. They have to do that every month or so.
how much is that costing since you haven't met the deductible yet?
It costs me $300 every time.
How many times have you seen the specialist so far during her pregnancy?
Twice.
And they're due in July, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. At the end of July.
Okay. How much is your phone bill costing?
Exactly $390.
$390, and that's just for you and your wife?
And 2 other lines and home internet.
Who are the 2 other lines?
They were for the twins that me and Ms. Wood have together.
But they don't use that anymore, or what happened there?
We were going to give them to them, but then that just didn't work out, and so yeah. But now we don't use them at all. I've put my son's iPad on one, so he has his.
Okay.
These people just bumbling
So
around their house.
at least
bumping
one of
into
the
money.
lines is being used. Can you cut off the other line?
Yes, we're in the process of that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Power and water. How much is that costing you?
Around $170 a month for power, and water is like $45.
Cheap. I just looked at
How much
our
is
oil
groceries
bill.
costing?
I spend an average around 8 to 1,000 just on myself out when I'm out in town at work, and my wife spends about 800 or so to 1,000 also for her and Stetson, and then whenever I come home, we'll also go shopping for groceries for all of us.
So when you're gone, you're at a location that has like a refrigerator and pantry that you're able to put like these grocery in, or is this like out to eat all the time?
It's like a strictly convenience store because I basically we're working on my truck. I'm on call 24/7, but I do have I do have a refrigerator at the man camp that I stay at that I do put groceries in. But I mean, the jobs that I do can last from 2 to 4 days, somewhere in there, depending on what kind it is. And I just get the food that I want at a gas station. And everybody knows a convenience store is not cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, dumbass. Why would you not pre-pack everything ahead of time? You lazy piece of shit. Go to Costco. Dry goods. Put them in your truck. You know, that one that you pay $1,100 a month for? Is that a fucking joke? He makes, like, he could buy a cooler that plugs in, and I mean, I'm very, very confused. He's saying they spend 2,000 American dollars a month on food. But I agree that he has to spend some money out on no, the insurance. I don't think they said insurance, Sashina. They didn't say that. But I don't know, $2,000 a month on groceries? If you cannot. But he also makes a lot of money, Carol, so I don't know if he gets a per diem. He's getting paid a fuck ton. And again, I thought they provided food. It seems odd. I have questions. But again, my whole point being, it seems like there's a little room for trimming the fat, if you will. Cutting the fat. Yeah.
So this 8 to 1,000 you're spending on yourself, that's coming out of your pocket. And then are you sending another 800 to 1,000 to your wife?
No, ma'am. She's on the same account as me.
Oh, but it's still coming out of your pockets.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. And so she doesn't get any like government help like SNAP or TANF or anything. Just want to make
No.
sure. All right. Anything else outside of the home that you are paying for?
No, ma'am.
All right. And then
How much
your
cocaine?
previous order.
I want to know how much cocaine. Allegedly. That's what I want to know. Seems like maybe that's a drain. That might be a drain, you know?
Didn't account for other means of being able to talk to your children or talk to Miss Woods. So we suggest an app that is free called App Close, APP Close. Are you willing to download that and use that to talk about your children with Miss Woods, since there was a prior order indicating that, you know, her information would not be disclosed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then let's see. Do you have like a probation or anything that you're paying for, drug testing, anything else extra that the judge should know about so she can take into consideration for your whether or not the guidelines should be deviated from?
No, ma'am.
Right. Your Honor, I have no further questions for Mr. Ash. Reserve the right to recall if necessary.
Okay, let's see if I have any questions. You said you've been working on the oil field like 10 years, is that what I heard?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how old are you now, sir?
33.
Well, I know you can't do some of the hard labor forever, but it's more the children and the home than your age or your health that would make you want to switch out jobs.
I've missed everything. I mean, I'm just not, and in the children's lives, and I'm just gone all the time, and I just don't want to do that anymore, and I'll sacrifice the money for that.
Well, if the state is correct, I heard that in the range of 231,000 a year. How long have you been making that kind of income?
I've never made that much money.
Okay, we're at tax time right now. Have you filed for last year? What did you make last year?
150.
150. Are you doing more overtime now, or how is it that the state came up with?
It's I really don't know, because like I said, I get a lot of overtime, a lot, and there's a second page that I sent that is for 72,000, and that's my guaranteed money. So like I could not work at all, and that's what I would make, and anything else is just extra, and I'll have a check that'll be around 4, and then the next one may be 1,800, because I go straight off of ticket time. I only get paid if I write a service ticket for that.
So do you have
It's-
did you have a W-2 for last year that says you made significantly less than you're making now?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I could send it.
You didn't bring it with you and showed it to the state already?
I have it. I have it like on my phone. I could show it to you if I was way I could show it to you.
Well, yeah, and what would you say the last 3 years, how much you've been making in the last 3 years annually?
Around the same. The most I made was about 3 years ago, and that was 170.
Okay,
He still should have been paying
the
more
state
child
wasn't able
support
to
the whole
verify any of
time.
that through his documents, Ms. Coates?
We didn't get a copy of his W-2, Your Honor. Like I said, we were basing this on the pay stub he turned over to us. That is the most recent, which is what the law states for us to look at, which was the pay date of March 14th, the period ending of March 9th, 2025. So his year to date with his regular and his overtime, Your Honor, is $48,872.99.
Okay, if he's made it in less than 1/4 and it goes down for the rest of the year, we don't know that. Or have you looked at your records? Do you have reported wages, I presume, for last year? Would he be correct or incorrect on his statement of last year's wages?
I can ask Miss Rodriguez to look. But uh, on his pay stub, Your Honor, he's being paid $64 an hour. And then with overtime, it's $59.50 for his overtime. So
No, ma'am. No. In absolutely no circumstance do you get paid less for overtime than you do regular. You're wrong. She can't be right.
I can show Your Honor his pay stub. I've blacked out his home address so that way nobody will see that.
Okay, show me what you got.
So this is what we're basing it on an 11-week.
Can you scroll? Yeah, zoom for a click or two. There you go. That's fine. Thank you. Regular. Okay, it wasn't 64 hours at 36.75 as a regular pay period.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I heard you right, and I think I misheard you. So 36.75 hours what he makes, but he works 64 hours per pay period. This period. Is that every 2 weeks then, Mr. Ash?
Yes, Your Honor. That 64 hours is the 64 hours of regular pay. So I got 40 hours of regular pay on 1 week and only got 20 the next. And the 59 came all in 1 week because you can't, I don't have another 40 in the second week. That's weird how they stack up like that. 64 and a half or 64 hours of regular pay, so it wasn't in overtime yet, but the 2 weeks are put together.
But it is a 2-week pay period. This says
Yes, Your Honor.
24th through March 9th. Yeah, that would be 2 weeks. Okay, can you scroll for gross pay, 48,000? So is any of your income stacked at the first of the year? Like last year you made this kind of overtime and then it slacks off, or this year, if you stayed with them, you'd be making this kind of overtime all year long? What am I seeing?
It all matters how how the industry goes.
Well, I know that, but okay. We've captured you at the one period in time in which this is happening, for court. And now you're at a time where you're higher wages. Now, I would like to understand how it happens or how you get there. And if you're saying you've never had that before and you don't expect to make that this year, let me wait a minute while we have somebody moved into another room.
What the fuck, Manuel? Also, he probably
Ms.
should
Coates, are
keep
you
this
going to do
job.
that or your staff?
Not trying to
He
be
should have been
rude, but
moved
he's
over.
not
He
super
might,
quick.
yeah, there
he
he
just went. Thank you. It's just distracting. I'm sorry. Thank you for doing that, though. We needed to do that. So you say you've never made 231 and they're asking me to charge you with 231 and it shows so far you're on track to make that if I haven't followed the numbers, but I assume Ms. Coates did the math right.
But remember what I said at the beginning.
And then you're saying you're
Yeah.
gonna quit, or you want to quit. So the 1,300 you're asking for, is it based on a certain income or just because of your budget with your other bills? Mr. Ash?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear that.
The 1,300 that you're offering to pay, is it based on your bills or is it based on a percentage of your pay or how did you get the 1,300?
It's just
That's
it
what you
seemed that
you could squeeze in.
yeah, a fair number whenever I came back home and lost all that other extra money.
Yeah, I
So,
saw a little per
hold
diem
on.
on there. Manuel!
Mr. Rodriguez, you're in my courtroom.
Or
You're
Miguel.
trying to move you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. In this court with you.
Well, I'm in the middle of a hearing right now, so I couldn't talk to you right now, but we're trying to move you to another room. So if you can click the button you need to go to and stay there for a minute, they'll come talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The judge is really doing all the legwork here.
Got it. And you don't have any second jobs or anything else?
No, Your Honor.
When was the last time y'all were in court that you got the 500 and some odd dollars in child support set? Do you remember how long ago that was? 580,
2017, Your Honor.
2017. And this has not been brought for modification till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
This is what, 8 years later, 7 or 8 years later? And you were making, what you just said was what, 150 or so a year? How far back, sir?
It for the past 6 years or so, maybe. But I mean, during COVID, obviously it got really, really bad because they shut down all the drilling rigs and whatnot. And if the drilling rigs aren't working, then I won't work. It would cost me money to go out to Odessa to not work.
If I remember right, COVID would hit what in 21 or so, and here we are in several years down the road. Or maybe it was 20. I'm forgetting now how quickly we forget. So how could you have made for 6 years 150 if some of those were COVID years? I'm trying to figure out what you just said.
Well, it's all over the place. My income is, and I can send you my tax returns and all that, and you'll see because I'm on call only, so I can make a lot of hours at one hitch, and then the next hitch I can make none. And nothing's guaranteed except the 72,000 a year.
Well, I get that, but have you ever made 72,000 a year? They've always given you some overtime, I presume.
At this company, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I've only been here for a year and a half.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Coates.
Miss Rodriguez can testify to his last employer. Because there is some wages from a last employer from FMC Technology Surface. It goes all the way back to the third quarter of 2022. But Miss Rodriguez can tell you, if Your Honor will let me call her, how much he made last year with this employer.
And so when was the switch based on your records from one employer to this second? I just thought it was the same employer the whole time. I missed that part.
Well, Your Honor, he was, he's saying this is a new one, but my understanding is this is the same one.
It's the same. Yes, ma'am. It's the same company. I left to go to a different company and then returned to this company.
And what year was that?
I've been here a year and a half.
Okay.
Are they still owned by the same? Because, Your Honor, there is a full year's worth of 2024 from this FMC technology.
He just said a year and a half.
I'm not understanding where the change is.
That yes, ma'am. Those two companies, they're the same company. I don't know why it says FMC Technologies. It should say TechNip.
So, so the pay stub he gave us is for 11 weeks worth of work. We also have a year's worth of income from what he's saying is the same employer. So it's still around the same. And Ms. Rodriguez can testify to what she found with regards to the year of 2024.
Yeah, well, I'm concerned that you want me to set support based on 11 weeks if that he hasn't done that in the past, doesn't have history of doing this high numbers. He has had high numbers, but at this high, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure you've shown me that yet, Mr. Coates. I'd be happy to hear another witness. In fact, Mr. Ash, do you have anything else to say right now before we call another witness?
No, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead, and if you want to have your child support officer testify, just tell me which one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, go ahead and announce yourself, your full legal name.
Jeanette Rodriguez.
Thank you. Let me swear you in if you'd raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. State your witness.
Ms. Rodriguez, can you state your job title and your duties for your job title?
I'm a child support officer with the Attorney General's office, and I verify obligor's income information.
And in this case, was there a employer that you found for Mr. Ash, aside from this pay stub, that you were able to gather more income information for?
I was able to verify through this FMC Technologies the year of 2024.
All right. And so there are a full year's worth of income that you found in the line of your work.
Correct.
And can you tell us what you found for the year of 2024?
The year 2024, he earned $163,585.71.
And what, oh, I'm sorry, what would the monthly income be for that?
The monthly would be $13,632.14 gross.
All right. If we were to use that information with the health and dental information plus 3 children, 3 additional children, what are we looking at for child support?
$1,748.
Apologies, Your Honor. Mr. Rodriguez is back. Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes, ma'am.
please join the breakout room and remain in there. Mr. Balderas will talk to you there.
Okay, so you want me to leave this room? Okay.
Yes. And so, and can you see if he's kind of making, were you able to see for the other quarters for the 2023 and 2022?
Yes, ma'am. Well done.
Wait, hold on. You said it was 1748, but Ms. Coates, didn't you tell me it was 1748 for the 231,000 you calculated, not for the 163,000 she just testified to? So I got confused there for a second.
It's still a cap, Your Honor.
Oh, that's what you're telling me. So what's the cap you're using? Or the statutory cap, but tell me what it is for the record.
If we use the 13,000, Your Honor, with the 3 children, the 146, the adjusted net resource is $6,992. If we used what we previously stated, Your Honor, which was the, lost the number.
That was very funny, Bill.
I didn't get that you were using the cap. You just told me that
gonna
you
go
didn't
over
violate the
some numbers
cap,
here. I
but
gotta
now you're
dip
telling me
on
it's the
the
same
screen right
number,
now.
no matter if it's the 200 or the 160.
Correct, Your Honor, because he's making, from 2024 until now, he's making more than what the cap is, and so we've capped the child support, so it can't go any higher than the 1748 with the 3 children.
So tell me what the gross is and the net is for the cap.
So the gross is still the same. The cap for the net is $699.22. The cap in general, Your Honor, is $9,200.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's
Sorry.
this 89? What are you talking about? 699. What's that?
That's the adjusted net resources if we based it on Mr. Ash's 2024.
Adjusted net resource, $699 per what? A week is, I'm not, that can't be a month. I'm not following you.
Ms. Rodriguez, could you just kind of clarify?
Okay,
I think what happens, Your Honor, on our system, it's gonna cap it at the 9,200, even though his net resources exceed that amount.
okay.
That's why the 1748 is the same. Whether we use the 13,000 or the 19,000, because it's the way the system is set up.
Okay, I get that. But do you know what Ms. Coates is referring to, the $699? I'm not.
It's the adjusted net resources, I guess after all, yeah.
So the 92, Your Honor, is just based on one child. So there is an adjusted credit for 3 children. So he gets credit for the 3 children, which is $2,208. And then we also have to give him the credit for 146 for the monthly health and dental.
So then his adjusted net, if it's not 9,200, it's what? Not 690.
It's $6,992. That is his adjusted net.
Now I get it, because you kept saying 699.22. I was getting, you were telling me $699.22. That's the part I didn't follow.
Yeah,
Somehow got mistranslated. Okay, 6,992 is the adjusted net. Now I get that. Thank you.
Yeah. So
okay, so at the 9,200 cap annually would be what? 110,000? Is that right, Ms. Coates? I'm doing the math, but I guess I need you to tell me if I'm correct or not. The 9,200 cap monthly for gross at 12 months. We're talking about an income of 110,000?
and $400, yes, Your Honor.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I got that part too. But annually, and then the adjusted net at 6,992 times 12. It's at 83,904, so it's close to 84,000. Okay.
And so what
Now I
we're
get it.
saying, he's been able to afford this amount, Your Honor. In 2024, he made the same amount, and he's projected to continue to make the same amount to be able to afford the guidelines of $1,748.
Okay, but I'm not sure he understood all that, but I hope you followed this, Mr. Ash. Do you have any questions about the calculations and the statute that says we're not taking all of your income, we're not even considering it? It caps out at 9,200 a month, so we're only basing it on 110,000 a year, not 231. You get that? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you still don't think you can? Okay, the real question for me right now is, okay, you still have this job, you haven't left it, and that, well, let me see, Ms. Rodriguez, do you have anything else you need to tell me, or Ms. Coates, do you have any other questions for Ms. Rodriguez?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's all the questions I have, I believe.
Before I release Ms. Rodriguez, Mr. Ash, you have the right of cross-examination. You're here acting as your own representative. Do you have any questions for Ms. Rodriguez on the income she stated before I let her go?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wood, you're also representing yourself. You have the right of cross-examination as well. Do you have any questions for Ms. Rodriguez?
No, ma'am.
No. And do you have prior years for this employer? You don't have anything for this year because we're not in the reported first quarter period yet?
We don't have anything for 2025, no.
Okay, can you tell me what happened with 2023 then, maybe at least one more year for me?
We have a couple of quarters in 2023. I didn't add them up, but I will.
Okay. How many quarters do you have?
2.
And which 2 quarters were they?
It was 3 of 23 and 4 of 23.
Third and fourth quarter of 2023. Okay, while you're looking at that, Mr. Ash, does that sound right? You only worked 2 quarters in 2023 for this employer, or the prior employer, or the same company that you saying it's the same company?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened in 2023 that with the other 2 quarters?
I worked at Cactus before that, and then I worked there for the 2 quarters, and then I quit, and I went to work at a place called Atlas, and then I left Atlas to go back to FMC.
So why would the 2 quarters in 2023 not be reported through the state? Were you an independent contractor or self-employed or no?
So I was a W2.
That doesn't make sense if it's not showing on their system because they're supposed to report wages. And what's Atlas and Cactus? What kind of companies are those?
Both wellhead companies, the same thing that
Oil.
Technet MC does.
Okay. And your estimation of what your 2023 income would be between your 2 jobs that year? Do you know?
Yeah. I can tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I could just verify some information from Mr. Ash.
Sure.
IFE NDT LLC, is that the Cactus?
No, ma'am. I lost my job at Cactus, and I worked there for 4 or 5 months while I got the job back at FMC.
Okay, so what was IFE?
It was just a job that I got to pay here. I mean, here, because I got fired from Cactus.
Okay, and then what was admin staff?
I don't know what that is.
Admin staff companies, Inc.
Was it a temporary employment agency you went to for a short period of time or anything?
This was in
no,
2023.
Do you
That could have been through IFE and DT for them to hire me.
Okay. And then I'm showing the last time you worked for Cactus was back in 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out 2023.
I have my I have it right here. My return $115,091, and I can send this right to who I sent the other stuff to.
Okay, my phone's gonna stop recording soon, and we'll have to switch to. I figured it out, luckily, but I don't know if we have to just scoot ahead a little bit. Plus, I need to switch setups, and I need to be listening to what's going on in the
about
other
the
room.
calculations?
Hold on, Judge. My roommate thinks that he can do some electrical work. He's absolutely not even close to qualified for that, so I really need to be monitoring. Oh dear. I am beyond unimpressed right now.
And the statute that says we're not taking all of your
IFE NDT
I think this is right where we
LLC,
were.
is that the Cactus?
No, ma'am. I lost my job at Cactus, and
Inc.
Was it a temporary employment agency you went to for a short period of time or anything?
This was in 2023.
that could have been through IFE and DT for them to hire me.
Okay. And then I'm showing the last time you worked for Cactus was back in 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out 2023.
I have my I have it right here. My return $115,091, and I can send this right to who I sent the other stuff to.
Yeah, and Ms. Rodriguez, you've heard some of that. None of that's reported in 2023 from the other employers?
Okay, what I show for MC Technologies was the 2 quarters, and then there is also the admin staff with 2 quarters. So for the year of 2023, he earned $115,924.29, making it a gross monthly income of $9,660.35.
And it's still over the cap. Okay.
Still over the cap.
I think
at
that's
its
as far
lowest
back as I
point.
want to go. Any questions for Ms. Rodriguez? Further questions, Ms. Coates? Let's start with you.
No, Your Honor.
Any questions for Ms. Rodriguez, Mr. Ash?
No, Your Honor.
And any questions, Ms. Wood, for Ms. Rodriguez?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Let me excuse you, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you for your short service here.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ash, I'm hearing that at all your jobs, no matter where you were, the same job or other jobs and jumping around or whatever happened, that you've always made more than the 110,000 that I'm allowed to set child support on. It's always been higher than that. Even currently at the 231,000 that you might be projected to make. So your argument on why I shouldn't do guidelines, even if it's a lot less than what you've been making, or in some years this year, and slightly less than what you were making in last year, or the prior year. You just don't think you can do it because of the bills you have.
No, ma'am.
Do you get that child support's got to be your number one priority? And I think you do, because you're going to try to quit these jobs to go home and help raise these children more closely. However, that's going to change your income, and that's for another day. However, today, do you get that mom's been getting 500 and some odd dollars based on a lot less income than you've been actually making? I assume you haven't actually been saving any of that money or have any big pocket of saving somewhere, investments that you've put it into. Mr. Ash?
No, ma'am. No,
No?
ma'am, I do not.
Do you get that it's your job to figure out your budget and not my job to lower your child support so you pay less because of your budget with those high vehicle costs or everything else you might be doing? Do you get that maybe you could tweak a few things and be able to pay the child support? Or you just don't see it right now?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Okay. So you don't have stocks, bonds, assets, anything else like that? No?
No, Your Honor.
You're buying a house. What's the value of the house?
Around 250 is what it appraises for with the land.
Okay. Is it a rural area or is it city, urban, or?
Rural, yes, Your Honor.
And so prices didn't go up, valuations didn't go up, appraisals didn't go up in your county for rural?
No,
Not
ma'am.
even-
And
not
pay
even-
for land taxes and stuff, but
Okay. And how long have you been in that house? When did you buy it?
2021.
So just a few years. Was it a 30-year note or more?
Yes.
30s? Okay. And you don't have anything, other property, real estate or anything of value?
No, Your Honor, just the house and the 5 acres.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Coates, do you have any follow-up for Mr. Ash?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Were you going to call any other witnesses, Ms. Coates?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
Okay, I think I told you all you had the right of cross-examination of any witnesses. Well, that would also include each other. So Mr. Ash is testifying. So Ms. Wood, do you have any questions for him while he's still testifying?
No, ma'am, I don't.
No. Mr. Ash, do you have any questions of Ms. Wood? You have the right to cross-examine as well.
No, Your Honor.
No, okay. Then if there's no other evidence, Ms. Coates,
No other evidence, Your Honor.
then let me hear a closing.
Okay, Your Honor, we are asking that you confirm the judgment of the medical support finding and that it be paid back at $51 a month. That is as of last month.
And the
so
number again, give me the number again.
yeah, just about to do that.
162.
162.89.
Thank you.
Suggested repayment on that is $51 a month. Then he be ordered to carry the health and dental through his employer. The health is costing $135 a month for the 2 children, and the dental is costing $11 a month. And I believe this is through his employer.
Mhm.
We will defer to Your Honor with regards to the child support, but as Your Honor has seen and been told that he does and has in the past made the cap of the 92 net resource.
92 gross, 9,200 a month gross.
It's actually based on 92, Your Honor, net resource. The Texas Family says that. So it is based on the net. So the cap is the 92, but his gross is either between 13 to 1,600, oh, 13 to $16,000. I'm sorry, not 16. My brain is done. He has the ability and has shown in the past to be able to make $13,000 to almost $20,000 for gross monthly income, Your Honor. And so we'll defer to Your Honor. Miss Wood, like I stated, is willing to account for those additional twins coming. So that would be 3 children. So that would put it at 19%. So we'll defer to Your Honor on whether it should be the 1,300 or the guidelines of 1748. And just to let Your Honor know, had Miss Woods not considered the other 2 children, child support would have been $2,070. So that would have been the 2 children before the court and 1 outside. And then Your Honor, we would defer to Your Honor with regards to the court costs. We'll ask that the non-disclosure remain in place and order the parties to communicate by act close.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
I believe that's it.
I always ask the last 2 questions, non-disclosures or court costs, anything on that?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I stated if we could keep the non-disclosure in place because it was previously ordered, and just order app close so that they can communicate at least there with regards to the children. And then we will defer to Your Honor about court costs. The state normally asks that the non-custodial parent pay the court costs, but it's your court, Your Honor, your rules.
Thank you, Ms. Coates. Let's see, let me go with Ms. Wood. Do you have a closing argument, a brief closing statement on what I should do today, ma'am?
I just want you to please just do what you see fit. That's all I ask. I agree to all of it, and I am just here to be here, I guess. I don't know what to really say. Just I appreciate everything, and that's just that. So.
Okay, you're gonna appreciate the raise no matter what it is. Since you've been
No,
getting
I just finally appreciate the fact that we've been given an opportunity to finally go to court over this. I've waited a long time to come, and I should have come a long time ago, but I didn't care to. I didn't want to. But maturing and growing up and realizing that it is something that does need to be done.
yeah.
I decided to do it. So
Well, one thing I really can't touch is a modification of visitation because that wasn't pled. But if you, based on your testimony, it sounds like maybe dad should start seeing the children some way, somehow, and not grow up. The children should have a father somewhere, some way, somehow. Would you agreed to electronic communication in the order, ma'am, so that maybe at least FaceTime or something like that could happen before anything else does?
absolutely, yes. The only thing that I ask of him to do is just do it. Don't do it just for a little bit of time. Be consistent. Be consistent with that if you're going to be in their life.
Well, I'm hoping everybody's grown up and has a better, newer perspectives, especially as more children come along, because it is important. It is important, not just for the ones in your household, Mr. Ash, but the ones you had with Ms. Coates.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you agree to electronic communication. I think you agreed to app close communication as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he does have your phone number as an exception to the non-disclosure. You're okay with him having your cell number, at least for texting or emergencies?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay. Then, Mr. Ash, any other closing argument on what I should do today and why?
No, Your Honor.
You know, I tried real hard to figure out what's going on so that I don't zap you with a really high number if you only made it for 11 weeks, if that's going to stop. However, you've made more than the cap all these prior years. So even without looking at the 231, I'm looking at the 110, 115, or actually the cap at 110, which is pretty significant. And you've admitted you've made that, and even more. So this is what I think is the right thing to do, especially with your testimony that this could change in a few short months based on the birth of your new twins. Now, I hope you don't go get a job at McDonald's, and I don't think you are, because that would be totally ridiculous, and you could be found to be underemployed by taking a low-paying job. So I wouldn't have be able to set child support at a minimum wage or anything like that when you have a history of making pretty decent income. Now, I get that oil field work is hard work, and again, it can't maybe not last forever. And in circumstances, I may not find you underemployed because you had a valid reason to stop doing this and maybe take still a decent paying job that's not this high because of the circumstances of your family and trying to do better with all your kids as time goes on. So, I'm telling you, there's things you can do, but there's things you shouldn't do just to come to court and say, this is all I can make, sorry. So you have to base out of this. No, I don't. There's a law that says that you could be found to be underemployed. So just to avoid child support, and with your history like this, I would try to tell you to try to find the best job you can that you can stay home with, and then try to convince me of it. Because what I'm going to do today is this going to be a temporary order, Miss Coates. I don't want to do a final order under the circumstances I just heard. So I'm going to do a temporary order. And let me start from the beginning. Some confirmation of arrears. I will grant the judgment of medical arrears of $162.89. Yeah, I don't care if you paid it $51 or $10 or whatever. It's not very much. In fact, it's probably going to catch up as your pay periods go forward because it's usually paid off by the end of the year. So I'm just going to do $10 a month. I don't think it really matters on that part. And that would be starting our next start date you're asking for, Ms. Coates, would be May
May
1st. May 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then there's no, make a child support judgment of 0. Is that what you told me the record showed, Ms. Coates?
Correct. 0 for child support judgments.
And did you want it as of March 18th? Because I think you can go all the way to March 31st, even if the last posting was the 18th. That's the way I read the records.
Yes, Your Honor, the end of March.
March 31st of 2025. He owes no child support, and he owes $162.89 of medical support. Okay. On the issue of you are required to carry the medical and dental, so you have it now. But I got to tell you, it's useless, and you're just throwing money at a company that's not being used. If you don't give her the cards, you need to give her the cards, Mr. Ash. I don't know how and when, but you can use app close, you can use electronic communication, or you can do take a picture of it and send it by text or something. You need to turn over the cards. Is there any reason you don't have them already, or can do that pretty quickly, or what?
I haven't received mine, the new ones, after adding them.
Since this order is now ordering you to do that, in the past it hadn't. I think you were doing it voluntarily. You don't know what time period they come out. It's not.
No, ma'am. I can send a copy of the one that I have, which is for the policy itself, which would cover them.
Anything, yeah, that shows all the identifications and numbers and whatever, that would be good, even if they don't have the kids' names on them. So yeah, and the other thing I have to tell you that is if you quit a job and you're supposed to carry the insurance, and then the insurance lapses because you're not at that job and you don't pick up new insurance, that any costs that come in that are not covered by insurance, when you have insurance, it's 50-50 between you all. But when you lapse the insurance or there's a gap, you would have 100% responsibility for all of the costs for having failed to have the insurance, Mr. Ash. That's going to be in the order. So you don't want to be found where she's doing medical testing and this and that, and none of it's covered. Because you no longer have insurance because you switched jobs. So you need to be real careful about that and make sure you have insurance at the new place, or carry the old insurance if they let you do COBRA for a few months or whatever you have to do. Keep the insurance, don't let it lapse, or you could be zapped with a big bill with 100% liability if it does lapse and there's costs incurred during that time. Okay. So, the math is the math, sir, as much as I can sympathize it, but you're a high wage earner. You're gonna have to figure it out. You're older and responsible, apparently. but I can't deviate from the guidelines considering it's a cap and you've earned more than that. So I am gonna set the child support at 1748. I assume starting at May 1st as well, Ms. Coates?
Yes, Your Honor, and just so Your Honor knows, that is based on 2 additional children coming. So
Yeah,
currently, so I just wanted to make sure because you said temporary, but
I did. The children are just gonna be born in a couple of months in July.
yes, Your Honor. So that's why we just
Excellent late fee,
Miss Wood.
Erica. Thank you so much. Appreciate you and your 13 months of support. Oh, he took his angry ass outside. Okay. I called him an idiot for thinking he could do the electrical work, and he got very mad. And now he's weed eating outside. Oh my god. Anyways, I do think he's an idiot. I was like, if you're smart enough to know you don't know how to do that. Like, you're not that dumb. Come on now. Bro? Bruh?
Went ahead and agreed to count them now instead of waiting.
Okay, so you're telling me I should give her more child support because the children aren't here yet, at least until we can.
Correct, Your Honor. The child support would have been $2,070, but she just wanted this to be over and done with, and she was willing to give him
Well,
credit for the kids already.
you know, when I first started, I thought I'd do a final order, but when I heard what he said, he's gonna switch jobs. He's gonna do it shortly, you know, after the twins are born or after his paternity leave. It's gonna be a different income. I don't feel like it's right that I just give even the cap, and then not considered what else happened in the next few months. So I guess we'll ask you, Miss Woods, and you're entitled to say yes. Do you want the higher number since the twins aren't born? And then I lower it roughly right around the twins' alleged birth, and then bring you back after that because he's still not going to have a new job, probably. I mean, yes, Miss Wood?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine. Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Mr. Ash, your 6 months, your 6 weeks of paternity leave would probably be around when then? Sometime in August? If the
Yes, Your Honor.
children are born in late July, is that what I remember?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll be leaving for this 6 weeks, a week before the twins are born.
And right now their due date is July what?
I don't have it at the end of July.
Just the end of July?
Yes,
So if I say they're born in July and you have August and through mid-September, you probably would have a job by October?
yes, Your Honor.
You can't afford to not have any job, correct? So you'll be doing the best you can to get a job as quick as possible? Or stay where you're
Yes,
at. I'm not sure what you're gonna do, but okay. Then let me revise my temporary order. I will grant the 2,070 a month starting May 1st. And then since I suspect the children will be born in July, there's no question that he's gonna
Judge, I think he fell off.
he fell off.
Panicked.
Well, that's putting it kindly. You don't think he cut himself off? I wasn't watching the screen, not discuss your case. So you're back. Miss Wood, you're here. Miss Coates, you're still here. So
ma'am.
Yes.
continue. I think I was ruling and then you dropped off. Or were you trying to have a question or anything else, Mr. Ash, before you left?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then I did order, I revised my temporary order since it is temporary and the new twins are not here yet, to 2,070 a month child support starting May 1st, but I'm gonna drop it down to 1748 since everybody acknowledges you're gonna be the father of newborns in July. So I would start that August 1st. Then we already talked about the arrears, we already talked about insurance. I just set the temporary orders for support. And since we're still in the middle of this case, I'm not gonna talk about court costs. I will continue the non-disclosure finding with respect to mother's physical address. However, with the exception of a cell phone that can be used for emergencies and, sharing information, whatever. But y'all still gonna have the app closed, and I ordered electronic communication. It's usually, it says in there generally that for reasonable times and reasonable durations. But Miss Wood, Mr. Ash, let me start with you, Miss Wood. Do you have any specific times and hours that would be good? And then maybe y'all have a way of, instead of trying to sort it out yourselves later, that you have it in writing and then y'all can stick to it. So I can do that if y'all agree to something here. So give me some ideas, Miss Wood, about what day and times would electronic communication be available with you and the children?
I'm available at any time right now, but considering the communication is really purposely just for the children, from 4:30 in the afternoon until 7:30 at night is just fine with me. On the weekdays, that would be Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, anytime from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, let's talk about your schedule. What would be reasonable? Would you want to do it once or twice a week, Mr. Ash? And which days and what hours so that might work? Or you can't do it while you're in the oil field, only when you're home? But we could put something in writing and then, well, you can, well, it depends on if you're working and if you're on call and all that good stuff. So what do you think, Mr. Ash? How often or what days and times we can put in the order?
But like any chance, any time I get, it's hard to say whenever I'm out there, but whenever I'm home, I can do it any time.
Is there any day of the week that would work consistently, like a Monday or a Sunday, or even if you're on the field, if the call doesn't come through, it doesn't come through. But when you're at home, is there some day, maybe once or twice a week, or you just
Mondays? Those are the days I rotate out. I'll be driving.
Would you want more than once a day, once a week, or?
As much as possible.
Well, okay, if Mom just said when she's available, we put that in there. If you call between the times of 4:30 to 7:30 between Monday and Friday, and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays. And if y'all are available, it works. And if one of you is not available, it just doesn't happen. And you try again the next day. Are you okay with that, Ms. Wood? Just give some parameters and then y'all work it out.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
And that would work for you too, Mr. Ash?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's try that then. Did you write that down, Ms. Coates?
No, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay. Instead of reasonable times and reasonable durations, that he has the right to call the children between the hours of Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Yes, okay.
And Saturday and are you writing or are you still writing? And then Saturday and Sunday between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you as well. Summer will start at the end of May. I think they get out May 22nd. Is that right, Austin?
Yes.
Okay, so as of summertime, we can change the times. So we'll discuss that, I guess, on our own if you want, or we can whatever. But prior to that, that's just until they get out of school.
I just start that as give you something to go on. And then if you tweak it, the visitation part, I guess he has no visitation under this order. If y'all do something on your own, please do it. If y'all come back and agree that you want standard visitation or some other kind of specific visitation, if y'all have agreed to it, I can throw it in our order, but I can't have a hearing on it contested because nobody filed it. Nobody's asked me to do it.
Yes,
if y'all come up with something on your own, I'd be happy to approve it on your agreement and stick it in an order. But for right now, let's stick with the electronic communication. You do anything else on your own, that's fine. And then come back and tell me what you want, if you have something in by agreement. Okay, I think that covered the last thing. I'm not gonna address court costs. I just addressed everything else. Did you have any other questions, Ms. Coates, or clarifications? The
just a
reset date.
comeback date.
That's right. That's the last thing. The reset date. I was thinking sometime in October, November, December are holiday months and it gets a lot busier around here. I'd rather not put you there. So if I go to late October on a Friday, we have the last one I have would be October 24th.
Yes, Your Honor.
That might be plenty of time, Mr. Ash, to figure out what you're doing and bring
Yes,
records.
Your Honor.
Okay. Is that time okay as well if it's still by Zoom, Ms. Wood, for you?
Yes, ma'am.
So Friday, October 24th. Was this set at 8:30? We leave it at 8:30?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, if y'all want to come at that time, that would be fine by me. Because if you have a hearing, I'd rather start earlier than later anyway. So October 24th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. by Zoom. It's the same Zoom ID, but all of it will be in writing that the state's going to draft. Send your proposed order through the email system. It's going to come from Texas Office of the Attorney General. It's going to be a proposed order in the DocuSign program.
NPC, the shot of dopamine at the end of the stream. Thank you so much. Honestly, I thought it was camouflage for a long time, but it's a paisley pattern shirt. Thank you, NPC. That is amazing. And look at all those names that got memberships. We will be doing members only tomorrow. Also, Sunday Court Watchers Anonymous. It's Saturday, right? Yeah. I have to work tonight. Like for 4 hours. That totally sucks. But NPC doesn't.
So you get to sign electronically after you review it. If for some reason you see any errors or you have questions or problems with the order, you call the AG. You can't call me. You call the state and try to sort it out with them. But if you don't see anything wrong with it, I've been doing this a lot lately. People aren't going to agree with orders necessarily and maybe don't want to sign them. But if you sign it and it says as to form only, you're acknowledging that it's my order, not that you agreed with it or it should prejudice you in any way. So if you'll add that to the signature lines, Ms. Coates, I think you heard me. And then
Yes, Your Honor.
you can sign it that way, and then I get it quicker. If you don't sign it a week from today, I expect the order in my inbox. The state will turn it in next Friday if you haven't turned it in earlier. So you have no later than next Thursday to sign it or not sign it.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I prefer if you review it, get it in quicker, but if not, that's fine too. Because I'm rendering the order, it's now my order with or without y'all's approval. Okay, you're on notice for the comeback date on October 24th at 8:30 by Zoom. If you don't come back, you could be defaulted. It is going to be in the paperwork. You should be getting a copy and you have access to that. However, if you don't, this is legal notice. The court's putting you on notice in open court for next time, 10/24 at 8:30. If you fail to come back, you could be defaulted, which means we go forward without you. You're not here to tell your side. I can't consider it. It might go badly if you're not here and you can't work out the other things that I'm hoping you work out, including possible visitation for the kids' sake. Do you have any questions, Mr. Ash?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Wood?
No, Your Honor.
I told you earlier that I'm an associate judge and you have the right to appeal, so you can choose to do that, either of you. So if you get a lawyer, they know what to do. If you don't get a lawyer, it's still doable. I'm gonna ask the state to put the de novo right of appeal at the back of the order that gives you generic information. But I'm telling you here, when you get the signed copy from the court, it's got my signature on it. You have 3 days in which to file a notice of appeal in the district clerk's office in Comal County. And it has to be in writing. It has to say what you object to, that I made an error, that I did wrong, or you have new evidence for, or whatever you say. You got to say something legal on why you want this order to be looked at by a district judge on appeal. And then you have to send copies to all the other parties. That includes the state, and by an email address that they usually have in every single order they put in, and to the other parent. And if you do all that, you still have to pick up the phone, call the clerk's office, and get a court date within 30 days so that a district judge can hear it. You can't sit there and wait for them to give you a court date. They're not going to know they need to do that. You know that you need a court date, and all that is spelled out, kind of more generically spelled out in that piece of paper is going to be attached saying de novo appeal rights. If you do that, you get to district court, then it could be a brand new trial, or they review my work and or y'all come to some other agreement. Any of that can happen. If you miss the time deadline, you're out of luck. You won't be able to appeal this. And you come back anyway in October for me to do something else based on whatever I hear at that point, possibly. Okay, Mr. Ash, after all that, any more questions or concerns?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Woods?
No, Your Honor.
Sorry, I'm tired too. Ms.
It's
Coates,
okay.
anything else? I'm tired of talking.
No, Your Honor, that's it.
Okay, state's gonna draft it. We have it out by 5 today. I know it's Friday. You can have the weekend to look at it, but Ms. Coates, are you busy or can you get it out that quickly?
We should be able to get it out today.
Okay, well, I look for it starting today, and if you don't get it today by 5, it might be Monday, but do take care of business if you can. If not, I sign it without you. Thank you, folks. All you have to do is leave the meeting by clicking the end meeting buttons, and you're done with court. And see you in October.
Oh, he done with core. We done with core a little bit today. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out today. If you got a gifted membership, congratulations. We have members only tomorrow. I will give away my some of my gifted memberships for April tomorrow. Maybe we'll try and fire up a little bit of thing for it. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Even if you're lurking, you never talk. You know what? I love you too. You're special. Don't forget. Anyways, do me a favor. Remember that I love you and I'm proud of you. Oh, I set this up to go see Creed. I think he's still gambling. But I love you. I am proud of you. And I don't know the time yet, Vicky, but I'll post it. It'll probably be mid-afternoon, my time. Okay, last time. Remember, I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!
Always down and ready to ride.